Alright, so we live publicly here.
Alive.
Good night, everybody. So we started
Good night.
shortly, but I'm just going to post this on Instagram here. Ready for the next snapshot?
Who knows looking away?
Because looking away.
Football, but way the ugly way.
You're gonna do what? You did another one just now there when I wasn't smiling.
Alright, let me take it back over when you smile. Let me take it back over when you smile. You ready?
Janazi, they smiling all the time.
Sure. So let me get your tag one time. You already starting shortly. Good night, Ren, Alessa, Aliyah, Old School Hits. Who looking for detention? Akila, Sanjay, X-Flamer, Kelly Trim, Blue Boy. So we starting shortly. They just press like on the video so more people could come up. I really don't know nobody Instagram handle here except Josiah.
AYANNA.
Slide pepper at AYANNE
Novel and yeah.
Inside and Janazi.
You on my Instagram handle?
Yeah.
GNEZIE 7.
Spotted. Alright, so we are about to begin. Good night, Rian. Good night, Gilbert. Good night, Nicholas. Ahasuias from Babylon. Good night, the guy Nash. Good night, Blue Boy. I see those. What's the title of this video? Y'all see the title there? Law grads and undergrads. So before we start, I'll ask our highly esteemed and brilliant young guests to introduce themselves. One of them is my good friend Josiah. He recently graduated from law. So we'll start with him.
Yeah, last what you said there.
We'll start with you. Introduction.
Oh, right. Well, my name is Josiah Cyrus. I graduated in October and got called to the bar in November. So I've been in practice for 5 months. 5 months? About 5 months. Say 5 months, just to be safe. I'm from Central. I see least brightest one out of everybody here, so don't take my advice too much. But I see you the lawyer here, so
Facts. Wait.
yeah, right. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else much to say. Oh yeah, so I did an internship in October to December. That was in Port of Spain. Did a lot of high court matters there, and I work in the east right now, and I do a lot of magistrate court matters. Like I think I did 22 for the year, so 22 appearances. So I think I would be in a good position to just give some insight as to how that
We're
is.
coming back to that. But I only turn my mic on and off here because the neighbor dog getting on bad. Janazi, come to with you. Before we started, Josiah was telling me that Janazi cupped the open skull.
Yeah, I did. In
So
2014, I did.
2014. All right. So give us a little introduction about yourself.
So my name is Josiah Cyrus. As Coon and Josiah both said, I got an open scholarship in 2014. I have a background in linguistics and music. I recently graduated from the Queen Mary University of London, 2018, and the BPP University in London in 2019. I got called to the bar in England and Wales in November 2019, and I've been interning at Regis Chambers from the beginning of January to present.
All right.
That's a bit about me.
All right. Thanks. And Ayana?
Hi everyone, my name is Ayana Norville. I am currently a final year student at Hewden Law School. I started law in 2015, so this is my last year. I did the LLB at UWI St. Augustine, and then I did 2 years at Hewden. With the COVID virus, I'm currently awaiting exams, which are scheduled for June. I have done two internships, one at Hammersmith Law Firm and also one at the DPP's office.
All right. Good. So we have some qualified people here to talk about law, something I know nothing.
Ayana, you won a scholarship as well, right? I think
Yes.
so.
Also,
Yeah.
First class honors, so valedictorian. Don't be shy. Let the people.
Also, she's brilliant. She's brilliant for real. All right.
Yeah.
So one of the major questions we had last night, and I believe everybody will have this question. Somebody asking for tips on SEA English. I think you're the wrong channel there, brother. So one of the major questions they asked was the route you all take. So just before we started, they were saying the subjects that they do for CAPE, and it seemed like everybody do a different subject for CAPE. Everyone attempted something different for CAPE. So it seems like law, many rivers can lead to the same sea. So like, what is something you need to do to end up being a lawyer? Like if somebody out here is idolizing that profession.
So it have several ways to do it. The most straightforward way is CSEC, then do CAPE, then go to UWI, then go to Hewden. You graduate all, you become a lawyer automatically. Right? They have no special bar exam, specific bar exam you need to write.
So
that's the straightforward way.
You go to CAPE, UWI, Hewden. And what you need to do in CAPE?
All right, so in CAPE, I would say you need to get at least 5 1s in Trinidad to get into the law faculty. I think the law faculty only takes any subjects. So I did business, Janazi did languages, and Ayana did science. So it doesn't matter what subjects that you do, because I think there's a law subject now for CAPE, I'm not sure, but I mean, it's not that important. So you don't need to do law at CAPE to do law.
So it wasn't like a fight up for you to learn anything new in UWI when you jump into UWI, like.
No.
So like, what are the courses you do in law then when you start in UWI?
In UWI, everybody does the same courses.
Yeah.
Alright, so what you doing now, Ayana and Hewden, what you doing now, like, what are the courses?
So now we build on the courses that we would have done in UWI, and we also do some further courses and also practical experience as well. So it's a little bit more practical, a more practical approach in law school, but we do courses like criminal practice and procedure, civil practice and procedure, landlord and tenant, law of remedies, evidence, trial advocacy, those kind of courses. Whereas in UWI, you would have built on the foundationals. So you would have learned criminal law, contract, tort, the basics.
Right. And for all of you all, at around the age of 13, 14, 15, you always dreamt of being a lawyer. Was it like that? Or did you follow friends?
No.
Or did you end up in this? How was it for you, Coppin?
it was a rabbit hole that I fell into. I was geared towards becoming a musician.
Right.
Even up until upper six, I was certain that I was going to become a musician. And then I changed my mind at the very last moment. I realized that I wanted to put myself in a position where I could help people and do some advocacy.
Advocacy.
That's pretty much how I became a...
So, you did music in Cape?
Yes.
And music and
So
languages?
it's not officially offered as a Cape subject. My school, St. George's College, where my former school, did it through Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cambridge International Exam, they would have us sit it locally. And from there, we'd be qualified as musicians accordingly.
Because Josiah,
But Cape recognized.
this man sent me his CV. After I read that CV, I feel like I'm ready to hire this man one time and I didn't have a position. You see this man's CV. Woo!
I just look down for the man, right?
Don't start grade 5 in music and all kind of thing. Like, wait, any job you want, you can just hire this man one time. Anyhow.
Yeah, that was life, man.
So Josiah, what made you decide to become a lawyer then?
I did business. I thought I was going to do science, and the day when I was supposed to submit my subjects, I changed my mind. I don't know how that happened. So I just went straight business, yeah. And my father was like, okay, cool. So I went and did business. And I was good at the business. But then I thought about like the opportunities in Trinidad, like how saturated it might be in that sense.
Business, you mean?
Because a lot of people do like management of business in UWI and stuff, and you don't have like a direct path to go from there. Because I mean, you don't have any experience, so you're not in a position to manage. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, what else I could do? So I was just looking around what I could do. I was like, this is in Form 6, and I was like, law would be interesting. Like I never wanted to be a lawyer.
So that's how you made up your mind.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you switch from sciences to business like that, and then you switch from business to law like that. Alright, Diana, give me something a little more solid.
Well, as Josiah said, I did a mix. I did sciences and also modern studies, and I actually wanted to become an actress. And I was speaking to one of my teachers, and when I told him about it, he was like, "No, you're too smart for that." And he was like, he think that I think analytically, so he think that I should do law because I wasn't really sure which path to take because I wanted to do so many things. And he said that law was very diverse, and I think he had a daughter doing it as well. So he was like, I think that's meant for you. So I signed up, I put it as my first choice, and here we are. It was fun.
So you switch happening in Cape as well. Alright, so people, okay, we have kind of accidental lawyers here then. So, alright, any regrets? Now that you're doing law and you're inside, you nearly on the way out of the school, on the way out of UWI, Hugh Wooding, Josiah, you practicing, you are the only lawyer here. Yeah. And Coppin, you waiting on COVID to jump in.
Just not in this jurisdiction.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, any regrets?
No.
Josiah, you didn't say no. I see no here and here, and I see no by Josiah.
No, I don't regret it. I just regret the way I went about it a little bit. Yeah, I could have probably be a little more diligent in the start. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And how that would affect you now?
I don't know. I might have been working in a film, probably.
Oh, okay. You mean like getting a better result from the start?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that might have been now. I don't have more options.
So
I don't think it really affects me that much though. Yeah. I just mean like for myself.
So like for people who start in law, what would be something you would tell them to look out for to not fall into? Josiah.
focus on trying to make sure that you understand the material that you're reading and not trying to just learn off the material that you're reading. Because there's a lot of stuff that you have to read.
Oh, it's a lot of reading.
So,
Like
yeah,
engineering was
but-
just maths. That was just maths. So law is just like reading.
no, well, yeah. I think it's very important that you understand the reason for the decision in the case and not just learn off the case. Because a lot of people in exams, for example, would learn off the case. So this is what happened in the case. This is what the man said. This is what the result was. But they don't understand the reason for why all that happened. And in real life, the judge really care about when you're using the case as a reference, the reason for the decision. Why are you using this case as your point? Why are you signing on this case? It has to make sense in the given circumstance. You can't just apply it and regurgitate the facts. So that's something that you need to understand that.
I catch
you
you.
need to understand and
so let me take a pause and answer see if you all could answer some of the questions here. If you pass the bar in Trinidad, can you practice anywhere else?
Yeah. So the Hewitton exam, it's a regional qualification that you get. So they place you based on your jurisdiction. So I think if you're from Barbados, they send you to Trinidad to study at the law school. If you're in Jamaica, well, they go to the Norman Manley Law School.
So.
And the other one is in Eugene Depuch in Bahamas. So based on where you are, they tell you where you can go. You have to have like extenuating circumstances to go somewhere else. So it have like a set part. And once you qualify in Trinidad, you can practice in the Cameroon Caribbean.
Alright. Well, like in the States?
No.
Nah.
Alright. So if you want to do law in the States, you have to go and do the bar there or something?
You have to do bar.
Yeah, and the problem with the States is that each state has its own bar exam. So if I qualify in California, that's great, but I can't practice in New York. I have to go study and write the next exam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the US. Yeah.
Federal.
Really?
Yeah.
Some questions.
Yeah.
Alright, so like if those companies were their lawyers and thing, they need to get a lawyer from the individual state to represent them.
Most likely, yeah.
As far as I understand, yeah.
So how you get called to bar in London? You'd only be able to practice in London?
Yes, but I'll have to do pupillage, and after pupillage, I'll have to get tenancy, and afterwards, then I can practice.
Oh, so you have some. Right, let me see.
So still some steps to be completed.
Someone asked KV law or St. Augustine law?
St. Augustine.
Someone asked what happens after law school?
You become a lawyer.
You become a lawyer and you don't sleep.
How extroverted must we be to do law? Become to do law?
You don't actually have to be very extroverted. I know a lot of introverted persons who they developed how to advocate and how to speak. I think it really takes you outside of your shell and outside of your comfort zone by practicing law.
Alright.
You can be introverted as well.
But I think it depends on what you want to practice, because there's some areas of law that calls for an extrovert. I don't know, because you have to network and you have to get yourself out there. If you don't speak to people and you don't get clients, then it's kind of difficult for you to build a successful practice.
Yeah.
I think.
And the other thing is, you don't always have to become an advocate. So everyone doesn't have to speak in court. There are commercial lawyers, contract lawyers who never go to court. So the law provides for everyone.
Yeah, I work with a never speaks in court, but she's always on the big cases. They call it an instructing attorney. So she never goes to court and speaks, but she's always there. She does research, drafts the pleadings, Well, I shouldn't use the word pleadings, but the documents.
I'm coming back to this question here, but you brought up something here. Is there, when people think of a teacher, they immediately think of someone who goes on the board and just write and teach, right? When people think of a police, they think of somebody who shoot people and lock people up. When, they think that when you think of a lawyer, think of somebody from the show who representing people and getting people off or getting people in trouble, that kind of thing. So, what is a skill? Okay, what is something that you do in law behind the scenes that you wouldn't expect, or like somebody who looking from the outside wouldn't expect?
Cry.
Painful hours of research.
But really, one very important skill that you don't really hear about is you need to be able to speak to people. Even if you're not an advocate, you need to be able to how to put it, to deal with people in such a way where you could give them the truth without hurting the feelings. If that's
Okay,
so for example, if
give me an example. Give me
you're
an
in
example.
you're in a real tough situation, you borrowed money from 10 people, right? You invest it and the investment gone bad. You call me to deal with your investors. This is a true story, so that's why I'm giving it as an example.
Right?
And right, and your investors, the people who lend you money, trying to get onto you. Everybody angry at you because you had the money, you lost the money. As a lawyer now, I had to be able to deal with each one of these investors in such a way where I'm not making them, I calming them down basically. I letting them know, updating them on the situation, right? And I letting them know how the process to recover the money is going. But at the same time, obviously they're angry, so I calming them down as well. I speaking to them in such a way where I reassuring them that your money not completely lost.
So
It have
part
a
of being a
possibility
lawyer,
that
you would say, is having good social skills, understanding what makes people tick and being able to work around that.
yeah,
You would say that?
yeah, and like having good tact, like having tact when you speak and
Okay.
yeah.
And also, I would say as well, you have to be able to, you're always a student because law is not static, it's always developing. So every day the law is changing and developing. So you always have to be researching, you always have to be studying the law. So persons may see you coming in court and you're talking and that, but it's a lot of behind the scenes research and continually being a student of law.
So
It's like
another
a
research.
like a lifetime student. You're a
Okay.
lifetime student.
I can see that. Let me see if I can get a little bit of the questions out before I go into some other things. We only going for 1 hour, so you all pelt out your questions. Let me see if I can get as many as possible. Do you have to do an undergraduate program to do law at UV? I think we kind of
No.
covered that already.
The law at UWI is the undergraduate program.
And then you go to Hewarding, right? So you do UV
Yes.
then there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the price to do lawyer work? Isaiah in trouble in the law.
Well, to come into my office and talk to me is $500. So,
500 to see, right?
just to see my boy. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. That's just to come and talk to me. That's like yeah, but that's like the general the general fee across the board, like for most people.
Yeah.
If you just want to come in with an appointment, $500.
Kind of sixth form student. So somebody asking you, kind of sixth form student, law student, going to work, study internship at a law firm.
Yeah, links. Yeah.
If you're doing CAPE, how many points do you need to be accepted into the faculty of law? Well, we said that already as well, like 5 ones, you say?
Yeah, what was the point system?
I think the point is that a grade 1 is 4 points, but I'm not too sure. I think it's 20 points, so that's why I think Joe said, no, it's 25. I'm not too sure. But around 5 ones, as Joe said.
What is the duration of time to become a criminal lawyer?
0 years. Once you're a lawyer. The only thing is, if you want to work on a murder trial, I think you need to be 5 years for.
Alright, let me just deal with my son. He wants something to eat.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah. But other than that, jump out. My first day when I went to work, the lawyer working with wasn't there. And had a man come, he had a matter. I had to just walk across. And that never made an appearance at that time, but I mean, I tried in school and you make your application and you leave. You bow and you leave. Whatever happened. You check some. A man said that real expensive, bro.
For
Well,
5 years of studying.
yeah, Isaiah Joseph. I mean, if you want to be a lawyer, you're supposed to say that's good. That money go to you, right?
Which will be more
Let me see
beneficial
some.
to study to become a lawyer, maths or languages? You use maths in law.
Yes.
You use like
When you were in
maths.
school, we use it for one course.
Like what in maths you
For
use?
one course.
Statistics.
Ratios.
So CSEC
Yeah,
maths
yeah.
are good
That-
to go.
This was low math. This was low math,
Expenses and
Josiah.
everything.
So in
And your
in
fees,
Hewwood, they have a
addition.
course. Yeah, they have a course for basic accounting course basically. It's just to like help you in case for future when you set up your firm or whatnot to help manage your course and thing. It's not that useful, but at the same time it could be beneficial to you.
So language
Yeah,
might
but
be
the
actually
only
more beneficial than maths. Like if for keep then.
yeah, I guess if I don't know.
Language could be good in court, Josiah. So, like, say for Spanish,
I
if you're
guess
representing like a person who speaks Spanish,
Because
probably
yeah,
like
they've
a
probably seen it in terms
Without
of pure
agree.
maths is a hurdle if you're not into the maths now.
Yeah, but generally the
Depends
only
on
math
which
they
type of
use is addition.
yeah.
what type of law
Add
you
up the
plan to
fees
practice.
and,
Copying and saying what type of law you plan to practice. You
I
mic
guess
a little
it
so.
depends on the way your brain works and the type of law you want to practice.
Oh.
If you're
I
mathematical
Yes,
and you
true.
think more formulaic, then maybe corporate is more your style. If you're a
Yeah.
linguist and you like communicating or whatever, maybe immigration or family is more tailored to you.
Do you notice, like Josiah, in practice, more female lawyers or male lawyers?
Females.
female by far.
By
But
far. Oh, at the top level.
ironically, most advocates are men. So it balances up like that. And at the top level, a lot of men. Because to get at the top level, you need to talk. Like senior counsel fees and stuff is usually like $4,000 an hour. Right? So I mean, you don't get $4,000 sitting down,
So,
you have to be able to fight for people to get that money.
so having an outgoing personality is part of climbing in law.
Not necessarily outgoing,
Being able to talk.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
To get to the very top level,
Alright,
it's very.
No, I have a little problem with the law. At this point, I said you'll be prepared to defend your profession, right? Okay, you went to school and you are practicing and you are learning to become a really good lawyer, right? So,
Yeah.
a lawyer is seen as an advocate, called an advocate, because you're helping to defend somebody with your experience and your knowledge of the law.
Yeah.
Now, how could the system be fair if you could pay somebody who has better experience to better defend you?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. So
Do you think like there should be no lawyers or there should be an even pool of lawyers? Yeah, so like alright, so let's say I'm in trouble and somebody who loaded in trouble, he would be able to have a really top defense team.
Yeah.
So should it be? Do you think that it should be like there should be like even levels, and he could only pick lawyers from the same level that I can pick from.
Well,
You understand where I'm coming from?
one of
Because
the
it's kind
things
of unfair.
Yeah.
I find so. I
Yeah.
find the whole.
It is. It is. I was saying something.
I was saying that in criminal law, for instance, it has a bit of fairness in the sense that persons who don't have lawyers could apply to get legal aid, and the pool of legal aid lawyers is the same lawyers who would charge like higher fees for somebody else, for instance, because a lot of us lawyers, we do pro bono work, so those good high price or expensive lawyers, some of them are actually in the pool as well, so you could actually get them to represent you as well for legal aid, for instance.
That's true.
So
But in
you have that
practice,
avenue.
what really happens most of the time is that if I have the money and I have the clout and I have the connections, I would be better represented by than somebody who doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
that's my little
Yeah.
tickle in the law right there.
Yeah.
Speaking
No, that's true. That's true.
idealistically, when you graduate from law school, everyone is supposed to have the same competency level or would have had access to the same level of information and skill set.
Right?
Experience would have made a difference, yes, so that's where the top lawyers get separated from the not so top lawyers, for lack of a better term. But the reality is the law is the law. So if some person can manipulate it a bit better than the other, then, I mean, that's a bit unfortunate, but the law itself stands as something fair, and we are supposed to promote it as lawyers.
Yeah, you're supposed to
That's my
promote it.
Switzerland
That's yours.
take on it.
That's your take on it. But I
It's
still
yeah,
have a
take
rebuttal.
on
I
it.
still
Very
have a
neutral.
rebuttal with that, and that sounds idealistic. But in practice, what happens?
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody here living in Trinidad, and we know what happens.
Yeah.
You're much better represented if you're well connected and you're well lubricated in terms of finance.
Yeah, because
Right.
what tends to happen is the top or the better lawyers tend to have a better and a wider knowledge of the law, in the sense that
You could pull from
if you
different
speak to any
things.
top lawyer, yeah, they a lot of the top lawyers, or just say regular top lawyers, they understand the law better than me, for example. I now come out, right? So because of their experience, they understand how the courts view certain cases, how certain judges view certain cases, because at the end of the day, everybody have their own biases and whatnot. So you would find that a lot of the top lawyers, they have different approaches for different judges,
Right.
because they've been straight. They understand, okay, this one, he don't like me to talk plenty, he want me to get straight to the point. This one like it flowery. So me now, I now jump out, I go in up there and I don't know, so I go in, well, it's a simple case, this case. But this lawyer going, this case. This court of appeal case, Canada say this, plus Australia say this too. And
So
Privy Council say this.
he know how to hit a better argument.
Yeah.
So
And
debate
at the end of the
skills.
day, at the end of the day, especially in civil trials, is balance of probabilities, which is more likely. Who story seemed to make more sense? Because remember, you weren't there, I wasn't there.
So
So
what
at
you
the end of the day,
say?
it's probably better argument.
Law
Yeah,
is a CXC
that's how it is.
multiple choice. Which one is the best looking answer? Which one is the best looking answer?
Yeah, 51% to 49.
Alright, okay. So debate
Yeah.
skills is good. So like being in a debate team and thing will help you with law?
I
Like,
think
you see that
so.
help?
I think so.
I think
Yeah,
so. I mean,
I think so.
anything to boost your confidence and get you out there speaking, I think is a great asset. Not necessarily information, but the skill set. Definitely transferable.
Alright.
Well, particularly with debating, you have to do some research, you have to do some talking, you have to do some communicating, you work in a team, all of these skills. But
You also have to know
research, I
the
think.
pros and cons of your own arguments and the pros and cons
Yeah.
of their arguments, which is very important in a trial.
So
Yeah.
Ayana, scholarship winner, final year, valedictorian, etc. Josiah, practicing lawyer. Full stop. Sorry, Josiah. Full stop, right? How about we put you all on the spot and give you all something abstract to. Alright, Coppin, use the judge. Me and you are the judge.
Fair enough.
We are the judges, right? And you all are arguing which is the best color. Josiah, you have green. Ayana, you have red. Are you all willing to do this?
Sure. 5 minutes, 2 minutes. How much time we have?
Okay, so we're gonna do it. Ayana didn't say sure. She's what color say you have, Ayana?
Red.
Red, right? Josiah, you have green. So you're gonna make a point. I don't know how it's happening, but in the court of Springer Cupping, you're gonna make a point, and she will be able to make a point, and then you could rebut, she could rebut, and then you have a conclusion.
All right. May it please your lordships, I, Josiah Cyrus, appear on behalf of Green. Right? Appear on behalf of Green now. Oh, sorry. Counsel, please introduce yourself. Counsel, you could continue.
Coppin, you are the help me
Please,
these
you, my
technical
lord.
terms. I just care for peace.
Okay, I didn't know it was a legal debate. It was just a general debate. It's not
We just winging it.
that
We just
green
winging
cars are
it.
better than red cars.
No, not color. It's just the color.
Just the color and the whole. Which color should reign supreme? Which color is the best color?
So may it please you, my lord, I, Ayana Norville, appear for the color red in this matter.
Now, your lordships, the color green. When we think about green, we think about life. You know, we think about trees, fruits. You know, when things slip from green to red, what we think about destruction, fire, damage, Australia. You understand? When we think about green, we think about the future. We think about sustainability. Green is by far the superior color. And everybody know the only good red thing is $1.
Ayana.
With the submissions, counsel.
My lord, you just heard from my learned friend on the other side who tried to persuade you that green is the best color. However, I wish to take you on a trip, on a journey with me. The color red represents vibrancy. It represents us as Caribbean people in Trinidad and Tobago. Our flag is red, my lord. Red stands to show our pride in being citizens of a diverse country, vibrant, bold, popping. It stands out. Even in this court, my lord, you can see, look around, you see people, red-skinned people, they stand out. You look around, you see, what else do you see? You see flags. My lord, red is a color of us. It is within us. It is the pumping red blood that flows through our veins. And these are my submissions, my lord. Should it please you?
Okay. Josiah, do you have anything to say in response to those points that you brought across?
She, my lord, counsel, my learned friend on the other side said that red stands out. That red people stand out. You know, I don't know if counsel is suggesting that red people are better than the rest of us. I don't know. Now, my lord, I know you are a red man.
Objection,
so
my lord. Objection, my lord. Objection. I am objecting to my friends. My lord.
Go ahead.
I am objecting on the basis of relevance. My friend chose to pinpoint one minute part of my argument where I mentioned red people. However, my lord, if you would remember, I also mentioned the vibrant red blood that runs through all of our veins, whether it be red persons, dark persons, whatever person. So my friend, right now his argument is irrelevant, my lord.
Josiah, continue.
My lord, she's saying that red, look at red flags. Now, we are a global community. Barbados does not have red in its flag, my lord. Jamaica does not have red in its flag, my lord. This is a Caribbean CXC channel, a Caribbean Cape channel.
Objection,
She's
my lord.
ostracizing the other
Objection,
colors,
my
my
lord.
lord. She's stating
Objection.
that the other flags are inferior. Inferior because they are not red. You understand, my
Objection,
lord?
my lord.
Ayana.
No, we
Objection,
cannot
my lord. My
allow.
friend is not. Objection. I'm on my legs, counsel.
Ayana.
My lord, my friend is seeking yet again to ridicule my arguments and to pinpoint insignificant portions of my arguments. I mentioned the red because this is a Caribbean court. This is the court of Trinidad and Tobago. Our flag has the color red in it. I do not understand why my friend is. Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of noise.
You are coming
You're
across
hearing that?
clearly.
Okay. I do not understand why my friend is trying to misconstrue my arguments, my lord. I was clear in speaking about the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago in which this court presently presides in.
Josiah, what can you say on behalf of Green?
On behalf of Green, I already stated, as I stated before, my lord, Green is about sustainability. And not only sustainability, but progression. If the earth needs to progress, we need to go more green. We need to cut down on gas and go electric. They call that the green movement. All these climate strikes, the earth is dying. Why? Why? Because there's less green, less trees, less flowers. The bees are suffering. They are begging for some flowers to receive nectar and to one pollinate, my lord.
Okay, we
Green
coming to
is
the end.
essential.
And I want
All
to give
right. And my
Ayana a
lord,
chance.
I have one last
Go
point.
ahead.
I have one last point to make. If you were to wake up this morning or tomorrow morning and your whole chest red, would you be happy or would you be sad, my lord? No, that's the extent of my submission, please, my lord. Extent of my submission.
Ayana, do you have anything to say to counteract these points?
My lord, I would just like to say that red is a color of love. It's a color of passion. And as citizens, we need to develop passion for life, passion for health. At this stage in our economy, now is the time that we need red. We need blood. Everyone needs to eat some apples, get healthy. Everyone needs to have that desire to live, my lord. It's the passion that is going to save Trinidad and Tobago in this dire state of the economy. My friend, he drew you to the fact that if you wake up and you see yourself in red, would you be happy? Of course you would. Of course you would. Why not? You would stand out. You would be popping, vibrant, passionate, alive. No further submissions, my lord.
Okay, so we'll call that the closing arguments one time and Copin. How things on your end, bro?
Sum up.
Yeah.
So in summing up, having heard submissions from both councils, the court has been alerted as to the significance of the color green as well as the significance of the color red. Council for Green has spent a lot of time advocating as to the negative aspects of the color red, while Council for the Red has reminded us of its love and its necessity in our current state of affairs. In light of these circumstances, having recognized also the significance of sustainability and vibrance, I would have to side with the Council for Red.
All right, so we have heard one of the council, the monkey faces in the
All
court.
them misleading
I
summing
find
up,
that
Joe.
notice about
Make you feel like coming
Hold on, you still have to hear from the next judge. So,
Deeply grateful,
okay.
my lord. Deeply grateful.
all the lawyer jargon, right? um, no, I'm a judge for the people. So I want to pass on my ruling to the court of public opinion. You heard Josiah Cyrus. You heard Ayana Novel. Normally we say Y's in the chat here, but we'll take a R and a G. All those who feel like R held it, the love, the unity, the vibrance, the blood. All those who felt like you're feeling green, you was going green, sustainability. Are seeing Josiah voting for himself in the chat. All those who felt the green coming along, let's have the green. So we're seeing green, green, red, 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 green.
Wow.
Red, green, red, red, red.
Wow.
Green,
Wow.
red, 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 red. So without a doubt, I'm a man of the people. And if the people say R is R, so I would have to side with Coppin. The matters adjourned. The Reds have it. Alright, Ali, it was really good having you all here. Before we go, I want to just leave a little 5 minutes, a little 5-10 minutes again for some questions. If you all have any questions, feel free to ask them. I think if I had the option, this option, I would be so happy to speak to people, who recently finished studying law, who are in final year, who are doing really excellent, to get their opinions, especially if I'm in Form 6. So, to map out your things. Not everybody will have this opportunity. So feel free to ask any question. Right? So people still living in the red and green.
Yeah.
Let me see if I had any other. So what instruments do you play? Coppin?
I play French horn and trumpet, as well as the steel pan.
As well as the steel plan. We talk after. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Good luck, guys. Be safe. Have you ever come across a serial killer case in Trinidad? Josiah, what style of law are you pursuing?
I do everything right now. But there's mostly do civil. I do everything. I don't really have a choice in that sense yet.
What do you like,
I see somebody
dislike about
saying,
being a lawyer?
yeah, what do you like, dislike about being a lawyer? The magistrate court sometimes it lack order. That's a big dislike.
Also the system, bureaucracy, that kind of thing?
Yeah, the system itself, generally anything that is public service is tend to sometimes have some efficiency problems. So that's one. Secondly, some lawyers not nice.
I see you take your time with your words.
Yeah.
By not nice, I mean what? It can be difficult to deal with some colleagues.
Like extremely hostile for no reason, yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be hostile because it's not me versus you. I mean, you're really just representing your client.
Agreements in general though, you'll find that in any profession.
Yeah, I know. What else I don't like, boy?
And anything you discover that you don't like, I mean, you're really not practicing yet. Anything a spot that you don't like?
No, not particularly at this point. I saw somebody said a question, is the exams at UE Law hard?
Asabi, we answered your question already. Asabi,
Amy?
we answered your question already. So when you finish, you can just watch over the video. Some of the questions that are skipped is probably because we answered it already. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Ayana?
Was the transition from Oh, the question
Trials
about
that
the exam.
the exams. No,
Yeah,
they're not particularly hard. I think it's all about preparation. Once you're prepared, you'll be fine. But it can be challenging, definitely, because it forces you to think. But once you're prepared, and the teachers and the tutors do prepare you to be prepared, and once you study your work and you don't wait till last minute, you should be fine.
Alright. Is there an alternative way in becoming a lawyer without CAPE or with low marks in CAPE?
yeah. So that's what I was going to talk about in the start. So you can go to a private law school, like it have one called ILAS in Shogunas, for example, and you would write a English exam paper. And when you get that, you'll get the equivalent of a LLB, I think. Right? But the problem with that is in order to attend Wooding, you would have to write an entrance exam. And that's the issue because they usually don't take in more than 10 people from that exam. So hundreds of people would sign up to write it, and they take 10. 10 people would get in. So the most surefire way to get into Wooding is to go through UWI. Once you graduate, your GPA could be 2.01.
What's it
Once you
like?
pass the
Yeah,
degree,
Right.
it's an
yeah. Once you
automatic
pass,
transition into Hewlett Law School.
yeah.
As opposed to if you get first class honors in some LLB in England, for example, you still have to come and write the entrance exam, which in my opinion is not very fair, but it went to trial, it was appealed, it went to the Caribbean Court of Justice, and the system has been maintained. So
Okay.
Yeah.
it is what it is.
You guys did any practice on probators yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do probate at he wouldn't.
Have you done political science or
Yeah, so
sociology?
within
I did sociology at Cape level, not at anything to do with law.
Why is it
And
so
we don't do
hard?
political science.
I
Sorry,
guess
why is it so?
jurisprudence
Go
has a
ahead.
bit of sociology in it.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard
It's jurisprudence and legal.
to convict a lawyer
Sorry?
when they breach the law? Is that true?
you will actually be surprised. It's not that hard. Like they send out a general email. For example, they say Kerwin Springer has been struck from the roles and is no longer possess a license to practice law. And they send it to all the lawyers who they have on the system, so everybody know that Kerwin brought up. Yeah,
All right.
they just move right with it. Yeah, they have a disciplinary committee, law association, and everything, and that's it. You could get suspended or debarred for breaking the law.
Hi guys, I want to study law and I'm currently in upper six. Where do you recommend that I pursue my law degree? Well, we answered that a few times in a different way, but we seem to go through the
If
UWI
it,
method.
yeah.
Depends on what you
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And if you want a little side vacation, if you're from Trinidad, you could probably go Barbados. You know, you get some nice clear beaches and stuff, a different experience. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, you don't necessarily have to be Trinidad once you're not tied down
I
to
was
your
coming.
parents
I
or
mean,
Yeah.
Josiah dominated and Ayana pretty up in top time too, and you quiet there.
They're asking very UE specific questions for
Yeah,
the most part, but
but like, what was
I
your
want to
experience
ask
in
you an
London?
Asia question. Yeah, that was
so
going to ask him.
it's I had to take a year off first of all. So I started UE in 2014, and I had to withdraw in order to start my undergrad again in 2015, the following year. London, it was the same 3-year program for the undergrad LLB. It was, I think it would be a bit different because I'm dealing directly with the textbook writers for the most part for some of the material that they would have been using down in Trinidad. So I get to critique them directly, I guess, critique, for
Right.
lack of a better word. But having been in UE briefly and in London, I don't think there's a large difference. You get a lot more things virtually. over there. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same. You have a lecture forum, a lecture setting where someone comes, speak to you, take your notes, and then you have smaller group sessions or tutorials where you get more intimate sessions with the professors or lecturers.
So it's the same similar system. All right. What about the culture and environment of studying abroad?
Socially, it was hugely different. It was markedly different. But the good thing about London is that it's so international. I didn't get the opportunity to really feel like an outsider because everyone is essentially an outsider. So, yeah, I found my circle quite easily, and I made friends from strange parts of the world that I never thought I would make friends in. The big downer, though, is that everything is very expensive.
Well, so how the open scholarship work? That just work for tuition?
So yeah, they give you they pay you tuition, and then they give you a stipend or allowance, which you are expected to pay your rent and maintenance and warm clothes and books and whatever else, food and whatever else you would need while you're there. Was it sufficient? It can be.
All right.
Was it on time? Matter of interpretation, I guess. Oh yeah, I mean, I made it work for the most part. But my parents saved, so we had some sort of financial backing in the bank to help us when we were a bit late, which I recommend for anyone going away on scholarship.
Right.
You could explain for anybody who might want to follow your path, the process they're calling Trinidad after.
Oh, well, after you get called to the bar in London, or if you choose to do the LPC program. So when you're in London, there are two programs that are available at bar school level, of course. That's the LPC program, the Legal Practitioners course, and the BPTC, Bar Professional Training course, which is the one I did. When you do the BPTC, you get called to the bar. After you get called to the bar, you're eligible to convert your degree to practice in Trinidad, either doing 6 months internship at a law firm or chambers, or doing 6 months at Hewley. The other option is the LPC, where you won't have the option of Hewley because you technically won't be called to the bar in any jurisdiction. So you would have to do the 6 month conversion program attached to a firm or chambers.
All right. Which one are you doing?
So I'm currently doing that.
Oh, Regis. Right.
Yeah, Regis Chambers.
I have a question for Ayana.
There's a really interesting
like a team moderator now.
Go ahead, Josiah. Go ahead. Take it over.
And so Ayana got first class honors, and I assume she did well in year one, valedictorian. But she doesn't seem to be the kind of person who is consumed 100% with work. So, one, what study practice you have that allow you to achieve these grades consistently, scholarship winner as well? And secondly, how do you balance the extracurricular with the studying?
Well, I like to be involved. I think when I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm not doing anything. So besides law, I like to be involved in different clubs. I like to act still. I like to be involved like in sports day and stuff, just as Joe, because I know Joe does football as well. What I would do is that throughout the term, I would try to pay attention in classes. So I would make sure that I always understand going along the way. So I might not have notes for the courses, but I will understand along the way what the courses are about and what is going on. And coming later down, set aside some time to actually put together notes.
No notes? So you go to the course and you don't take notes to class?
No, I take notes, but I don't prepare like my study notes.
Oh, okay. So after you take notes, then you derive study notes from that?
Yes, and from other research. because you'd have to look at different books and textbooks and cases to get different notes and principles. So later on, I would actually put the notes together, and I would also, coming down closer to the end, probably like 2 months before exams, I would try to do some questions for lecturers. So the persons who are actually marking your paper, you'd want to see how they would actually mark something that you would prepare. So I prepare like 3 questions for each course to see how they. So every tutor is different, and every lecturer likes things done in a particular way. Similar, like when you go out into to become a lawyer, judges are all different, so they like different things. So I would do different questions to see the approach that teachers take to the questions, get some feedback, and then study for exams. That's it. But
That's
during the
good.
semester, I don't prepare notes. I mostly just keep up in terms of classes and going to tutorials and understanding everything that's going on. So if I don't understand, I make it clear that, okay, I don't understand, to make sure that along the way I'm not lost in classes.
I
And
think
that's
that
it.
last point was that just a subtle little sticky there that was vital. That is something that I never, ever, ever do. Write questions for like my lecturers or anything like that. So like you wrote questions based on the course and what you gave them and asked them if is this good?
When I mean questions, meaning I did answers. So
Oh,
I did like
solution.
past paper questions.
Oh, so like today exams.
Yeah. So past exams, yeah.
And you carried it to them.
Yeah.
Alright. Points, points. Alright. We supposed to only take an hour and it's an hour and 2 minutes. Yeah, somebody shoot that dog, please. Sorry about the dog. Um, let me just take two more questions. Do lawyers get killed because they get involved in people business? I want to be a lawyer as a kid, and that was one
I
of the
know
main
of.
questions.
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, that's your job. You telling me your business?
I
Yeah.
heard law.
I mean,
I heard law textbooks are very expensive. You experience that, Joe?
Yes, they are.
we don't really use them that much, to be honest. So, in, I mean, it's gonna sound bad, right? But we have a culture in Trinidad of sharing. So we
All
find
right.
different ways of
Okay.
sharing material.
Okay.
Yeah,
Without
so I don't think like generally people purchase textbooks. From my experience,
you purchase
you
copy,
know. No. Oh, I don't know if you did.
copy. You purchase textbooks.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I bought all mine secondhand.
Okay.
We have in London, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Copyright works.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing about textbooks, as one of my past lecturers would say, textbooks are secondary sources. So your main source should be the law and case law,
Yeah.
because a textbook is someone's interpretation of what the law said.
Okay.
But I mean, if the law is there, the law is there, you know?
Yeah.
So generally, like in Hewing, for example, I don't think we use textbooks that much. We have a worksheet, a manual, and it has
Manual.
cases and like short paragraphs explaining the topic. But the cases is really what teaches you what the law is and shows you the progression of the law. So, and that's what you use as your precedent for your answers when
That's
you're writing
interesting.
exam.
That's interesting.
And
Yeah,
we get those cases online on different sites.
yeah,
We have different
subscription services.
websites.
Databases.
Wow.
Yeah,
You can get
Lexis,
cases.
Westlaw, Law, Justice. Yeah.
Alright, Tayana, Joe, Janazi. So y'all can head to my Instagram, check out my story. I tagged all of them. I think they would be willing to take some questions all up to 1, 2 o'clock in the night. They're willing to answer questions of anybody trying to
Absolutely.
become become a lawyer. It's not like they're going anywhere. COVID-19 have them locked down. So feel free to ask them. Feel free to follow them. For the right reasons. And it was a pleasure having you all here. So we'll bring down the
Thanks for
curtains
having
on
us.
this. Blessings.